Rolls-Royce.
No, then.
How are you getting on then?
All right, mate. How are you?
Right.
Yeah, good.
How are we getting on?
All right. Getting there.
Yeah, you've been busy, mate.
Getting there. Yeah.
How many years are we in now?
We were just thinking, we think we're on 5, are we?
Is that 5 years?
5 years since the engine came. Yeah, since we got the engine. And then, but it hasn't been, we've only been as and when, really. It's not been a full
That's
thing.
took some amount of work to get it in there, hasn't it?
It takes forever, doesn't it? You know what it's like. But the engine's done.
How many hours went in the engine?
Do you know, I don't know, but he was dead lucky. He was right in the middle of all that lockdown carrying on. So it landed up, and then I just set to, really, and I just had plenty of spare time. And like, if you think about trying to do it now, never gone, but a lot. Like, you forget.
What was up with it?
Absolutely knackered, sea solid.
Was the crank all right?
Yeah.
Right.
The crank was good. Bores were goosed.
Right.
Some of the rods were got water pitting on them and everything else. It just been wet. So we ended up getting a different set of liners for it.
Had it been sat outside or something? Then?
Yeah, been sat in the plane for a number of years.
Oh,
and then they took it out of the plane.
What plane was it in?
Shackleton.
Right.
So, yeah. So it had all been...
Did it have counter-rotating props on it then?
Yeah, 4 of them, yeah. 2,490 horse.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, right.
37.7 litres.
Right.
So, yeah. So the engine...
So what year is the engine then?
What is this? 40...
Oh, is it right?
44. Yes.
Right,
44.
hell, right. When was the last Griffins then?
Oh, they didn't right up until 50-something, didn't they?
Yeah,
and then he ran them up in service.
Oh, right. Was there much evolution from the first Griffin to the last ones?
No, not a lot. These were obviously the re-engineered Merlin, weren't they? Just like the next generation.
Yeah.
These were as good as they could get in a combustion engine before they went turbine, weren't they? This was they give up after this, didn't they? They went jet come in, and that was it.
Yeah.
But they're so clever out there.
There's nothing like a Merlin, is it? There's nothing double swap from this to a Merlin, is there?
No, it's
completely
just
different.
completely
10 litres bigger.
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah.
But same, the design and everything was just the same principle and it worked.
Just scaled up.
Just scaled it all up. We just went for more. But I think what they found with the counter-rotating prop was the horsepower into a single prop and the torque. And you reckon in the Spitfires, you couldn't drop the full power into them on takeoff because you couldn't hold them with the tail and got enough.
The gyroscopic effect of the engine.
So I think when you go into counter-rotating, it obviously equals the torque back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know well regular about flying, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, so go on, rip it all to bits then.
So engine...
Crank was all right.
Yeah, crank was all right.
Pistons and liners were knackered.
Yeah, and then built it back up, valves, head, everything. But we changed, because of what we wanted to do with it, so I had this idea that always we're going to put something into a car and it be one of those period, speed, attempt, fast, when men were men, when back in that day, if you wanted to go fast, if you wanted to break a world record, they weren't building their own bespoke engine like you do now if you want to do something.
Chuck a plane engine.
What can you get? You want the most horsepower you can get, the biggest you can get. Well, plane engines, they were the best technology we had back then, wasn't it? So get a plane engine. Well, there isn't, in my thing, anything better than a Rolls-Royce V12. These won the war. Right, we wouldn't be here today having this conversation for this, would we?
Exactly. Yeah.
Whether it was on the ground, whatever. So take one of these. And put it into a chassis, and that's how and then they started by trying to make themselves go fast and going quicker and quicker. So my idea with doing this was we're not copying and building a replica of anybody else's. We're building our own design of that era. That if we were back then, us three went into a shed, we've got a plane engine, we've got a chassis, this would be the technology that we've got. We've not got ECUs, we've not got anything modern like that. It's all period 1940s technology. So what came to mind was what's a really big heavy duty chassis that we can use for the job. The idea is we want it, so we can take it on the road. So we've got a road registered Phantom II Rolls-Royce 1933.
Oh, you've got a logbook for it then? Yeah. Oh, right, fair play. Go
on.
Rolls-Royce Phantom
II.
Right, okay.
So they were the biggest car that they built. In the day, allegedly, they said they were 100-mile-an-hour chassis.
Right.
So they said, if you dropped it out the back or something.
Well, they're doing a bit more than that now, wouldn't it? You think?
So there's your chassis, and then put them together, and it's quite nice. The Rolls-Royce running gear, everything's Rolls-Royce engine. So Rolls-Royce didn't back then in car terms go for speed like Bentley and that didn't racing. They purely went for the luxury side, didn't they? And all been quite well engineered and everything. So this kind of if they had gone down the road, this is what I think would have been their kind of creation. It's actually really nice when you get into the axles and the brakes. I just had the front hubs off it like 2 nights ago because we were trying to get the steering rigged up on here to bring it down. The engineering in the hub, you've never seen anything like it.
Go on.
Unbelievable. So it had a stiff kingpin. That's how it started off. We lashed up the steering box. We've got some basic. It's all sort of, this is all very much mock-up to see how this is going to work. None of this is like finished product just yet. So we've got the steering box, I've got the rods on, stiff in the kingpin. So I said to her, we just want a bit of oil, a bit of grease. Well, how do you grease it? How do you oil it? Can't get round it. Eventually work out, in the axle, it's got a cross drilling, and there's an oil way goes into the axle halfway down. It's then drilled right through the axle, up, through the stub, then it goes up through the kingpin, into oil tubes in the back of the hub that feeds the brake input shaft, every single bit in there.
So you grease it at one point and it lubes.
There's one little oil pipe, and they had a bolt-on pedal on here, an oil tank. You press the pedal, and it auto-lube the entire car. Back axle, everything's the same.
Off one pedal?
Off one pedal. Right, but it's better than that.
Right?
So we've got this oil weighing section. I think, well, we'll make a fitting, we'll screw in there, we'll put the porta power pack on it and pump some oil in, right? So you start doing that, well, there's oil coming out everywhere. Like, well, there's a little cap on the front of the axle. What's that? Take it to me. Pressure relief valve with a filter. With a filter. Either side.
Bloody
for front hub. And then when you whip the hub drum off, inside where the brake shaft comes through, you've got the little oil pipes to the way under. There's a little riveted tray to catch any oil so it doesn't drip onto the brake shoes. It feeds it back out. I'll show you some pictures of it. Honestly.
That's mad, isn't
and
it?
he just stood there.
You won't be seeing that today, boys.
I stood there the other night going, I tell you what, could you imagine costing and building something like that now? But the technology and engineering in that axle and hub is the same as watching this engine, but taken from 2 different places, but brought together into the same, made by the same people, the same product. You can see it was there across the company, wasn't it? The attention to detail was just
bloody hell.
unreal. Anyway, we've wandered off, haven't we?
Bloody hell.
So go on, right. So engine's all up and running.
Engine's all up and running, but obviously...
Chuck it in a Rolls-Royce Phantom chassis. Someone's like,
yeah.
right. Go on, what's the gearbox? What's the clutch?
Well, we took the prop box off the back, which I usually had the counter-rotating prop on here. She's got the gearbox that operated all that would have been bolted on the back of there. That also drives all your cams and everything. So we've had to redesign all that and made this bell housing bespoke that has all the gubbins still inside. Do away with the prop shaft.
So what ratio was it off the crankshaft to the props then?
50%.
Right.
And then obviously counter-rotating.
Yeah.
So what I've always been quite keen on the idea, I wanted it standard. I wanted a crank, flywheel, clutch, gearbox, prop shaft diff. And
conventional setup.
Yeah, other people who have done kind of things, putting these engines and stuff, because they don't rev particularly hard, put a step-up box in, put auto boxes on them. I don't like all that. Because for one, you've got the room, you get the noise from a step-up box, horrible all that. It wants to be like, this is straightforward.
Yeah.
So we come up with the idea that by cleverly, you've got a quill shaft between the end of the crank and the flywheel with separate bearings that takes the thrust off your clutch when you stand there. So it's not pushing on the crank in any way.
Yeah.
It's all independent. Got a flywheel that we made in there, but we've gone for, which like Dave's input was into this. I've said to Dave, like, what do you think? And we come up with that. It's a ZF box, and that's what you find typically in like a 10-ton DAF, 7.5 to 10-ton DAF lorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No oil pump in it, so it's quite simple. But the biggest reason for that is we want the output speed, so we wanted an overdrive box.
Oh, so this isn't 1-to-1 in top gear?
No, it's 0.75 overdrive, which
Right.
you reckon was about as bigger you can find in them.
For like a standard box, something we were going to find. We weren't going to find anything with a much bigger overdrive in than that, and a big gearbox without sort of going into bespoke gear trays. So we just sort of, and until we run it and find out whether it's going to stand it or not.
So we could use the standard parts, wagon clutch, plate, made of flywheel.
That's the standard clutch?
Yeah.
Right.
Full line, put the box in.
If we got the release mechanism all in there?
Yeah.
Right.
If we grenade the box, they're readily available, which, we think, well, if it does happen. And if this does all work and it's all great and the ratios are fine, we can either look at taking the innards out of that box and putting them into something else,
or get a box built, sort the box
out.
out.
It gets us going, doesn't it? Well, had it bolted in here, you've got the change comes off the top normally to it.
You don't need any gearbox bearings on it?
Well, yeah, I think I am. Well, in the wagon, it doesn't. It's just literally off the bell housing, but I have got some mounts to bolt on the side, which, see, sit onto there.
Oh, yes.
I've got them to put onto that if we think we need
it. Yeah.
It's a bit more complicated than that because we've got to get the linkage in for the brakes, haven't we?
Yeah.
In there yet still. because that's driven off the gearbox. There's like
What do you mean driven off the gearbox?
Well, on the original one, on the original Rolls box, which is a lovely thing, I like to use it. They have a mechanical servo assistance on the brake, which is like a set of clutch packs. And when you press your foot on the brake, it uses a clutch pack to help torque the brakes on. Quite a complicated thing. So we're thinking of taking that off that box and putting it onto here, driving
the
it.
PTO's, output on this box here, so we can get a drive out of the top of the gearbox to use for the brake servo assistance.
Or we decide it's far too complicated and we just go for no brakes. Go for like just standard rod brakes and cables, and we've got to kind of fit. It's surprising when you get into what you've got to fit in, isn't it? Your pedal box and lead.
Yeah, because you don't put a vacuum assist or something.
Well, you could do. You could put back off the engine, or even these engines did have a vac pump put on them as well.
Right.
So you could put a vac servo, which might be a simpler
There's still
system.
a lot of work to happen, isn't there?
There's a lot of things to think about.
There's a lot.
Put this box.
Well,
in
you've got a
with-
sensible prop shaft line and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe put a gearbox mount on it. Right. Okay.
So we're looking at the gearbox one day, sat scratching my head about how to make this look good, what to do. And I thought, well, at least set of ring bolts, the uniform, and I just unbolted and spun it around. I put it upside down, and it like fits the world better. But you've got the gear linkage coming out.
What was the compromise with it being the right way around?
You've got the gear linkage. It sits higher,
Yeah.
so tie up. So it was more up into here. It's wider on the bell housing. The clutch was on the opposite side. And we spun it round. It's like that's a load better. So I've got your gear linkage mechanism coming out the bottom there. Thinking coming out the side, and they want to come up into a gate on the outside here and have the gear lever up on the outside like they did on the outside, with the handbrake on the side of it on the same rod. So that's like up there. But the only thing was, well, what happens if you run a gearbox upside down? We don't really know. We can't actually see an issue with it.
No, we spoke to a
Then
few.
it's a splash gearbox.
Yeah.
Splash box, why not?
Yeah.
Just run it with more.
Stop the oil from running out the top turret, which is now the bottom turret. Like,
Yeah.
we'll have to do
Yeah,
something
yeah.
with the seals in now, won't we?
Yeah.
And then
So what's it? This is your PTO.
So that's just a plate off the way you put
So
your
you've got
PT
to
on. So
gear lever actuator out the bottom of the box.
it's
Yeah,
here
it's
now,
all
it's
here.
here, look. It's sort of ready to
Oh,
go. Look,
bloody
it's like
hell.
lends
Oh,
itself
gosh, yeah.
to
So it
coming
lends
on for
itself for coming out the side then. So it's all makes a bit of sense. Because I bought another one of these boxes out of a left-hand drive truck off, I think, because the gear truck was on the other side, so it'd come out of this side.
Yeah.
And then I've actually like binned all that idea, Then you had another idea about having a separate bell housing. You went and spent the morning cutting another gearbox out
Yeah.
wider for me. Then we decided that wasn't good. So we've got that. We've got the original back axle in it, which when you look inside them, like they're a heavy build thing. What's that going to do? So we've got-
What amount of torque are we delivering from this?
what's he put up in the thing? About 3,000 and something, I think, aren't they? I think 3,000.
Oh, the bloody
3,000.
But it's only going to be what you can get down, isn't it? Or what you can do with it.
Yeah, I suppose. That's a lot of torque, isn't it? Bloody hell.
About 3,400 or something.
Go on, and what would that diff usually deal with? The original engine?
You know, about 60.
right, bloody hell. But you're saying it's over-engineered?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, it needs to be, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
definitely
needs
needs
to
to be.
But, yeah. But it's like trying to get the seating position right and whether the steering column's in the right thing. That's literally like that. I put that on, that's a sliding thing off a wagon, so I was messing around with where you actually want steering, where do you want it up here? Or I've got a small steering wheel. Do you want like a big thing to get all of, or do you want?
Yeah, how much feedback are you going to get through the...
The main things I've got to fit into it now, got to sort out before we can actually get to running it in here. Dry sulks, we need oil tanks, I need batteries, and I need coolant. Fuel tank's taken care of. That's where it's going. The whole of the back's going to be a fuel tank.
You're just going to have an air-to-water radiator.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just sat in the front, it's got what's your options?
yeah. And as big as we can get it, I've had a lad look at it from a radiator company, and he's come up with the best thing he can do to make something that fits, that's nice. We're just going to go for that and see what it does. But when we had this running, we had it on a framing just outside the workshop running. We had a 10-litre fuel tank on it and one of these 40-gallon drums just full of water.
Yeah.
Ran for 10 minutes and 10 litres of fuel and ran out of fuel. It boiled the drum of water.
No, it didn't. Boiled the drum of water in how long?
10 minutes.
That's some amount of energy, that, in it.
Oh,
10 minutes, and it boiled a 205-litre drum of water.
oh,
Holy moly.
well,
And use how many litres of fuel?
10
Oh, that's not bad, is
litres a
it?
It's
minute.
only on tick over.
Yeah, litre a minute.
Yeah.
It boiled.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
it's quite angry.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the more boost you put at it,
Yeah,
Can you manually control the boost with this?
a little bit. Yeah,
Right. So you'll take all the boost off it, don't you?
yeah. So one of the things
What the rev to? Like 2,500.
2,750.
2,700 revs
Right,
you cap
was
it at the
two
moment.
cap. And they could rev them to like 3.1, but it's supposed to be rebuilt, weren't they?
Yeah.
So we're not going to go any more than like cap it like.
And what level of boosts would they normally have?
I think they got to about 14 or 15, something
Oh,
like that. So,
bloody
yeah,
hell,
fairly-
bar. That's a
we can't make any boost whatsoever running. It doesn't matter what you do.
can't put it under enough load.
No, it's not always running on vacuum like.
it?
Yeah, all the time.
What did you rev it to?
Well, we never actually rev. We did put a rev count when we were on the box on it. About 2,000.
It didn't make any boost.
No.
We're still in, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because we know proper, it's not got anything to do, has it? At all. It's just.
Yeah.
Whereas, what did that thing yours do when you ran that then? That with it had a shorter prop on, didn't it? But did that make any boost?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, because I ended up taking the governor off it to get it to rev a bit harder. So it sounded a bit nicer and it ended up taking off. Yeah, we've took all the pitch off the props to try and get all of the.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he still managed to take off in the workshop and took a bloody door off a wagon and a wing mirror off it. Yeah, I wasn't very popular. And then very popular. But it did sound nice.
But that
It
would
did
make
sound
boost.
nice. That
You
would
see,
make
well,
boost,
I haven't been able to load this up to make it do anything. So one problem we've had is in your gauging, you start talking to people that know about it, and people think, yeah, we've not had that problem. Because we've not got any loading whatsoever. It's sat in on Tico. It's just running on negative all the time.
Yeah.
It tries to draw the oil in from everywhere.
Does
Because you have no valve guide seals on them.
Bloody hell.
Supercharger seals like a set piston rings basically on the
You
shaft.
need pressure to
Yeah.
force.
So
to
it
for
needs
to
pressure
seal
it all the time, and then it doesn't burn oil, it blows it out. So when you're running it the other way, it really wants to drink oil. So
Oh, you bugger.
So one thing we might have to do, it's a little bit smoky, but we might have to end up either doing a different set head, taking these off, and then take it all to re-machine it and put oil seal in all valve
stem
guides.
seals
Yeah,
on Oh, so there's no valve stem seals on it?
nothing.
Just because he's relying on the boost
Yeah, because
forcing
the
air
boots
up
all
the
the time,
valve
don't
guide.
they? They run at like constant RPM really to a certain degree, don't they? It's only
Yeah,
up and down a bit. So we're trying to make it do something different, aren't we?
It's all a bit suck it and see, really.
And the other one
Yeah,
with
but
the
this is what we love all
Well,
this.
which is great. So the other one that was a massive. Every time I stopped, it cost a lot of fuel out on the floor, like they do, because they just run wet, don't do
Yeah.
anything. But it was really oily and dirty. I couldn't stand it. Took it all to bits, sealing the supercharger again. Looked at that, these rings, and just thought, well, the only thing you can do, like, got another set off somebody else spare set, put them in, tried that. And if you stood the thing on end and poured like fuel on top of it, it runs through. Because they're not, again, they're meant to run with boost on to push it all out, but we're not doing that. They've actually redesigned it, put an actual oil seal, a machined out sleeve machine, put an oil seal in there. Different thing.
Listen this.
Different thing. And then we got some fancy oil off another oil company from somewhere that we won't talk about that's meant to not smoke. Tried that. That made a little bit of a difference with that, but the oil's rubbish. So we need to come up with something, hopefully with the scientists here, to come up with an oil that suits it, because at the end of the day, it's not running in its application in a plane.
It's not a ring, a piston ring issue. It's not a.
I don't think so, because we've done
anything.
compression testing. It's all really good.
Right, so it's not that one, is it?
No, I think it's just valve stem oil seal.
Yeah, like you say, the boost in
But it's
forcing.
one that's worse than all this. That one on that side is a pipe that's not burnt off as much. Like, second from the end. Yeah,
That's it. That's it. That's it.
that one always runs oily. It oils the plug up. But I've been saying I want to get it and put it on the dyno and load it up. But until really it was on that frame, I said, well, we were going to put it on the dyno frame and all that. So the best thing we can do is bolt it in the car, get it set up in the car, and then we can actually get it on its own fuel system, its own oil tank, and then load it up, dyno it, because then you're testing everything then, aren't you? You're not just messing around with one bit. How good's your rolling road?
Yes, cracking.
Is it?
Perfect for this. It was built
right,
for this.
that will be
It was
there.
built for this. Give us a phone call.
Put the kettle on.
Yeah.
Put the
Honestly,
kettle on. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of work. What are we going to do for when you use like hydraulic slave cylinder for the clutch? There's a lot of stuff to
I
happen.
was thinking a big pedal. We actually had on that. I was thinking that. We actually had.
I was like straight to it.
Like Jack didn't know, had a piece of bar jammed in that, was up here while we were messing around with it, and he pushed it in, he could push that out.
Right.
Yeah, so I was thinking, well, it's up here, we foot on the pedal. He's like, there's a piece of bag. You can put as little.
It's the wrong leg. If that's any use to you.
Ah.
That'll be all right.
That's what I'm here for.
You can do all that.
That's what I was here.
can't you?
Like this.
Mind you,
Hang
we've
on.
got no brakes, have we? So it
No.
doesn't matter what pedals
No,
we've got
it's
this side.
just a go pedal.
Yeah,
See, hell.
Throttle's going to be interesting because, like, it's got the tiniest little throttle lever on that end.
Yeah.
And you just need to touch that, and it's just fried. So it's
Is
going to need a
it?
big long linkage in it with a slow mechanism. Well, I've made all the
Fuel
dash.
injection.
Yeah, injected, yeah, straight to supercharger, yeah. Yeah, injected, twin stage supercharged.
1 bar of boost. So what? Well, about 3,000 horsepower.
2,490.
2,490. So right, you'd say without the boost, that'd be about 1,500.
Yeah,
It's a bar of boost.
yeah,
That sort of doubles up, right?
yeah,
1,500 horsepower. But then you need the boost to stop the oil consumption.
yeah. We need to build the power also.
Committed driving, what?
Committed
That's what it'll
drive.
be. Bloody hell. Well, you know what you were saying, that the tyres will be min, won't they? Because you'd be knacking no grip, so you'd think, wouldn't you?
We'll
You're
see,
the man
yeah.
for that, Dave. You
We'll let you know.
stuff,
We'll let you know.
you don't want me anywhere near it, but I can tell you now. It'd be finding the nearest ditch bottom.
So
That's a big fuel tank.
So that's like as big as I can get to fit in there. So hang on, so I brought these, look. Right, so here's my vision. This is my vision, look. Look at this for technical. That's my tail. So that's my shape.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she's going to be coming out to.
Yeah. That looks period, doesn't it? Looks right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a tail. That's that's a bulkhead. So we've already got that. That's lash. That shape. So we mocked up a bit of a plywood body. So that's me.
Yeah.
That's that bit. And then what else have we got?
The empty.
Yeah, the one we got,
Yeah.
that's my dashboard shape. So I've made the dash. I've done it all that machine turned alley. So that's like my dashboard's up on there with a like a speed bump in the top.
Bloody hell.
We had a guy draw the body for it, so it's like got a plan with the body shape, but obviously you need to get the rest of the project a bit further up the road.
Well,
So is that the plan? So get it running, get it moving itself, then
Yeah,
get the
that's-
bodywork made. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah,
get the vision?
very
Yeah.
perfect in keeping, boy. Yeah.
Think a bit of a head scoop behind you, like a bit of a
Yeah. D-type jag spec, sort of.
and then a
Yeah.
bit of a power bulge on where your steering wheel is. and-
Yeah. All that bloody flute in there. That's going to take a bit of doing, isn't it?
Yeah, full levers, press the limit.
Ooh. You're the man for that job, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the man for that job. Yeah, of course, yeah. You know what you're doing.
We can make a
don't you?
lever to press and chill, can't we? So
Fair play. Fair play. Thinking what?
So we're looking for some inspiration then. Right, so I've got to radiator wise at the front. It's just going to have to fit in that space, and I'm going to go for a bigger header tank as I can on the top.
Yeah, which is what they normally have, isn't
Which
it?
is what we're going to have, and it's just going to have to go for whatever I can fit in that front end.
Mhm.
In supercharger inlets,
Well,
obviously.
that does
underneath.
scare the out of you, though, that if he's boiling 200 litres of water in 10 minutes on tick over,
Yeah.
as soon as you start chucking some boost at it, yeah, you need to get rid of some heat, don't you?
Right.
Oh, he's in now.
More vision, look. So that's your inlet. Obviously, if you've got my supercharger under there.
Yeah.
So I've made that bend trap rod out now to overcome that.
Oh, you've done that?
Yeah, I'm going to come with a scoop up over there and then through the bottom of here. And then that's me smiley face. If you imagine air intake in the front
Yeah.
kind of vision, bit like on the plane, the Spitfire.
Yeah, when you say, yeah.
That's what, that kind of, that in there, and that's going to be the shape of that. So you're getting a bit of forward.
Without taking too much space up for the radiator
then-
frontal area.
And then that'll just fit between the axle and that, and then the top from the chassis up, all that's going to be all radiator in there. But I think this is going to come wider. This is only just to have a bit of a mess around to it. Look
Only
like.
just a bit of a mess. How many hours is in that?
There's a bit, but
And you've only just done that to mess about.
well, you just got to get it to see what it looks like, isn't it?
I think there's one. Hey?
Well, I think we need to come wider with this and come out here.
Just to get a bigger rad.
Yeah, because 2 inch either side is going to make difference, isn't it?
Oh, that'll make a massive difference. Duke, I can't remember what year it was, 07. They increased the fork OD by 1 mil, right, and then knackered up the cooling to the bike, so they have to run a Schrader valve on top of the radiator, so they pre-pressurised the water system. Just like going 1 mil
That was
OD
1
on
mil.
the forks, it affected the airflow into the rads, that tiny amount, but that was enough to tip it over
Yeah.
the edge. Yeah, so they pre-pressurised the water system.
Well, they said with like the
Follow around.
Bentleys, like that below Bentley, there's different. If you look at pictures of them over different eras, the headlights are different. But they moved the headlights out for the cooling. I reckon it made a big difference. Just for the size of
Same
like
deal, innit?
a 9-inch headlight in front of the radiator.
Don't forget to
to like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.